Thank you. Okay. Sorry about all of that. Sorry about the delay. It's just my internet is complete garbage. So anyway, this is Ape Escape. We won't be doing no infinite jumps because of the delay. However, we will still be catching Windy. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. So the whole point, or the plot of this game is actually very simple. A monkey named Spectre got a point of a smart helmet, and using the helmet and his newfound intelligence, decided that humans should no longer be the dominant species on Earth, and that it should be monkeys. So he made more helmets for all the monkeys in the park, and basically raided the professor's lab, and took his time machine and scattered monkeys all throughout time to change the course of history. And we are a 10-year-old boy with a club and a magical net, and we're gonna send him back to the park. And as we're going through time, the professor and his assistant Natalie will be giving us more and more gadgets. This first one, it's not really so much a gadget as it just is a way for, I guess, the developers to introduce the swimming mechanic. It's just a water net. We can catch monkeys with it. Use it to swim. All that jazz. And most of these levels are just going to be me going in, catching some monkeys, going back to the time station, which is the main central hub, and then going to the next level. And I didn't mean to do that. Or that. Now, something you may notice is that I'm switching gadgets after I catch a monkey. That's just to skip an animation of Spike actually picking up the net. So in order to skip that animation, we just switch back and forth between another gadget and the net. Saves a couple seconds every time we do it. So this level is the first where we actually have to worry about a sort of cycle. We have to move kind of fast here, or we will miss the elevator and have to wait probably about like 10 seconds, I believe. I believe we got it. Yep. There's a ride. There's a monkey in this egg, but we can just ground pound and catch him. Normally we'd have to chase him around. What is going on with my camera? Also, this for that we are intended to come back with a different gadget that makes us go high. But you can just jump from the steps and grab onto the ledge, climb right up, and catch the last monkey. So this next gadget we're getting, we're only going to be using in this training room, and that's it. This is the monkey radar. It basically tells you where all the monkeys are. The reason we only use it here is because the pattern we get for the training dummy monkeys is sort of RNG based, and there's no way to control it. And since we know where all the monkeys are, we don't have to use the gadget anywhere outside of the training room.
Let's go.
You'll also notice that I'm rotating the camera at certain points. This is only because I just tried to use a net on a plant that would eat me. Anyway, I'm doing this because this game is very laggy. And moving the camera actually helps speed it up a little bit. I'm not sure by how much though. Now that monkey we sometimes can actually keep him from going inside of his UFO. But since we failed that, there's actually a backup monkey we can catch. So here's more camera turning. Might be a bit much, but I don't care. Also, sometimes monkeys just kind of run straight into your net. Also, in this level, when I ran up the cliff, I did a slope jump, and it's kind of sequence breaking the game because we're supposed to end the level, where we're supposed to go is where I ended the level, but instead we kind of went backwards, and we'll be doing that for a couple different levels. And this level is where I will be meeting the incentive for Catch the Monkey. The monkey in question is named Windy. And he is a monkey with green pants that shoots rockets at us. And the reason we call him, but that's not why we call him Windy. We call him Windy because he has access to 2 buttons that turn on a giant fan. And this fan can really blow you away like super far. And Windy is very, very inconsistent unless you know what you're doing. Just go for an extra little jump there, just because. So this game does have fall damage. However, if you hold out either the net or the stun club, you can actually avoid it. And I'm gonna get hit by rockets, probably. So he kind of screwed us over. So we have to give him one of our lives. And another. Wendy is not very nice today. Got him. Alright. So those first 5 levels were garbage. And now we get into the real meat of the run with you know, just a regular old slingshot. Nothing fancy. So normally we would be doing this the intended way. However, due to that delay, we can't unfortunately meet the donation incentive for no infinite jump. Otherwise, we would be doing things a lot different. So this is just the regular any %, and the way this works with the, oh, I'm gonna fall. No, I'm not. So the way that works, if you pull back on the slingshot, the developers programmed it to where it thinks you're on the ground. So if you do that in the air, because it thinks, oh yeah, he's on the ground, it actually gives you another jump. And you can just chain these jumps forever. And there's a monkey over there to our left. And in old strats we would go for him. But recently... well, not recently, I think it's, I don't know how recently, but, it was actually discovered that going for this monkey is faster. Yes! And originally this was the backup monkey, or that last monkey was originally the backup monkey to the second monkey, where I fell from out of bounds and caught the monkey through the gate. This is Jake, by the way, our blue-haired friend. He wants to race us, but we don't have to race him, so we're just gonna leave. This next gadget that we're getting is where most of the speed comes in. It's the super hoop. It's gonna make us run very fast. And I tried to do a skip there, and I failed it. but that's okay.
Let's go.
So this is one of the laggiest levels in the game. And we try to counteract it by lots of camera movement. And even then, it's not great. And like I said, most of these levels are just going to be me entering the level, catching the required number of monkeys, and then leaving. Once you get the super hoop, you pretty much have all the gadgets you need. There are some a little bit later in the game that are optional, I guess. But we will get to those when we get there. Oh, great. There we go. And that shark almost took a bite of our butt. It's okay though. And that one just kind of ignored us. Like it was like, hey, I see you. And then I missed. So this next level has a lot of bottomless pits in the out-of-bound areas, and it's going to be a bit more serious. So when we get to the serious part, I'm going to be completely quiet and hopefully not fall out of bounds into a bottomless pit. And this is Dexter, by the way. And now we're in his belly. Well, we're just inside him. Oh no, 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 no. There we go. Sorry, I'm using a new controller, and it's not the best. So this is the serious part. So give me just a sec. And we got it. So the faster way to do that is up through another part of the out of bounds area. I am not good at that part at all. So I use the safer method. Or what I believe to be the safer method. Why can I not hit this monkey? There we go. Whoops. And that's it for Dexter's. Well, Dexter's Island. And yeah, it's his island, but for the most part, that level should just be like, you know, it's just Dexter. Like, you're inside him. Now we're in the, I believe, the Ice Age. And this level is very, very short.
I'm going for it. Hi-ya. 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 Hi-ya.
I'm pretty sure that first shot missed.
Hi-ya. Hi-ya.
And I was right. Wow. Wow. There we go. So yeah, both of those shots where I was just like, wow. All that happened was the explosive round hit just like, it hit like the top of the mammoth, not the case that the monkey was in. So this gadget is the Skyflyer, and it's the game's intended way for you to go really high. Unfortunately, we have the infinite jump, so we'll only be using this at a couple levels, and then we won't be using it at all for the rest of the game. Well, no, we will be using it.
Let's go. Hi-ya. Ya. Hi-ya. Hi-ya. Ya.
These two monkeys like to troll you. They also sometimes like to be caught together.
Hi-ya. 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 Hi-ya.
Oh no. Did not mean to die there.
Hi-ya. Hi-ya.
Like I said, this is also a new controller.
Hi-ya.
So my apologies.
Hi-ya.
So yeah, I kind of missed almost everything there. It's not that big a deal though. I hope I didn't just re-enter the level. I didn't.
I'm going for it. Hi-ya.
So this is where you're supposed to be using the Skyflyer the most, but again, we have infinite jumps, so we don't really care about all that.
Ow. Hi-ya. Hi-ya. Yeah. Yes.
So far, I would say we're not doing too bad, given given the delay and everything. So we have another Jake race, but once again, we can just skip it. So this coming up is one of the more impressive, I guess, run or catches in the game. If I can get it. I didn't get it. And the monkey shot me. I'm a failure. Kind of misjudged the distance there. And that was my bad.
Yes.
And next up is one of the harder, like one of the first hard levels of the game. And it's also where we're going to be using the Skyflyer outside of the gadget training room. And I didn't use the super hoop like I was supposed to.
I'm going for it.
Yeah, I only got one monkey in here. Sometimes you can get two, and really, really good runners can get all three. So normally we're supposed to go over to that little island, and then boost jump back or over to the monkey over there. I'm not good at that, so what I do is I infinite jump 4 times, and then skyfly over. Just because for me that's a little bit easier. That monkey was just like, wait, what happened? And then I caught him. And my new controller is being weird at the moment. So every level up until this point, you've had to catch a certain number of monkeys. This is actually the first level where you don't have to catch any. We can just leave this part of time intact. That was Zubat. There's Pokemon in this game. Honestly, I had no idea that there was a solid piece of ground in that out of bounds area. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and grab an extra life. Just because of how much we've died so far in this run. Make sure I've got enough explosive rounds. Especially since I've wasted some. I was clearly, so on my controller I was holding up, and for some reason the camera decided to turn left. And so this is where we fight Spectre. Well, this is the first place we encounter Spectre. And Spike just runs up and is like, he basically is like, I'm gonna catch you, bring you back to the amusement park. And Spectre's just like, nah, that's not happening. I'm actually gonna leave and here, fight this knight, I guess, or whatever. And the reason I kept taking hits there was because so the knight takes 4 hits if you use 2 explosive rounds and then 2 hits with the stun club, and we take 5 hits for us to die. So if we break his invincibility by getting hit ourselves, we can, you know, shoot 2 explosive rounds, hit him twice with the stun club, and then he's dead.
Let's go. Hiya.
And this is the last gadget that we get in the any percent route. We will be using it a little bit later. But hopefully we won't be using it too much. Also, we've been going through like different points in time, and now I believe we are in present day. Spectre kind of figured, well, we, you know, traveling through time and being in the past didn't quite work. So now we're just gonna take over the present. That seems like a good idea, right?
Hiya. Ow. Hiya. Gotcha. Hiya. Hiya.
So that monkey right there we weren't supposed to get, or we aren't intended to get until much later on in the game. Or much later on in the level, I should say. But again, we have infinite jumps. So why even bother with the way order works? Like, this is actually towards the end of the level. So this is another level that we're going backwards in. And because of how much health I have, I'm not going to go the intended way. Instead, I'm going to go this way and catch the last 2 monkeys over here. Because if I go the intended way, I am probably going to die.
Yes.
420 viewers, and now it's gone.
Let's go. Hiya. Gotcha. Oh. Yeah.
So normally we would shoot this monkey with an exploding round. Instead, I'm just going to drop on him.
Gotcha.
Because I don't have any exploding rounds left.
Hiya. Gotcha.
back up again. Well, that's good. So normally that monkey isn't that, I guess, easy to catch. Sometimes he's complete and utter garbage. And I think we just kind of got lucky there.
Yes.
So this is the second level where we have to actually beat a boss.
I'm going for it.
But first we have to capture 6 monkeys in order to get to that boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Hi-ya.
Also, there's a button on the other side of that clock, but you can hit it with your stun club. And this next monkey is pretty interesting, and I hope I get it. And I didn't get it. Okay. But there's a backup, so it's okay.
Let's go.
Also, yeah, thank you for that host.
Hi-ya. Yeah. Hi-ya. Gotcha.
So you may have noticed also that I kept destroying those floating drone-looking things. That was because they always drop 3 exploding rounds, and for this boss and for the next mini boss, I need to have 9 total rounds. Also, sometimes that monkey has an existential crisis and can choose to not exist. So now, 10-year-old us is fighting a what basically equates to a giant flying. I can totally speak. A giant flying warship that has two different attacks. They are red and blue, and we want all reds. And we got two of them, so that's a good start. Also, I set the car right where he was going to spawn for faster hits. So this boss doesn't exactly have health. You have to hit it 6 times in order to defeat it. So the first 2 we use the RC car. The last 4 we use the slingback shooter. And we got 3 blues and a red, so that's actually pretty good. Or 3 reds and a blue, I'm sorry. And that's honestly the best we could have gotten. Or, well, no, the best we could have gotten is 4. 4 reds, I should say. So there is some RNG manipulation to get this boss to actually immediately go to where he's supposed to. I don't know how to do that perfectly, so I just run around, and that's the TV tower boss. And now we're coming up on the last level of the game. And it is by far the biggest level of the game. Which you guys would have seen more of this level if we were doing the no infinite jump route. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, we aren't going to be doing that. So, Spectre captured all 3 of our friends, and now we have to save them. And the first one we're going to be saving is the professor, who, you know, Spectre didn't hire a monkey or a group of monkeys to, you know, to guard the professor. No, he hired a clown. I don't know. Nobody even knows like where this clown came from. So that was a halfway decent clown fight. Gonna get some cookies here for safety. And next up we have the scariest roller coaster ever. And this is also an auto scroller. So We're going to be on here for, I think, probably about a minute and a half. So, chat, how are you guys liking Themeathon so far? I don't know, there's like a huge delay. Like, and also, can I just say what makes this one of the scariest roller coasters? Pretty fuego. But yeah, can I just say what makes this one of the scariest roller coasters, like, ever? Is the fact that there's no support. That nothing's holding up this railing. And then there's this big old drop that should, like Spike would have gotten his neck. Catching them monkeys is more important. But yeah, like, after that roller coaster, Spike's neck should be broken. But, you know, nothing about this game makes any logical sense, so it's no big deal, right? Okay, so we caught 2 of the monkeys before they went into coffins, so that's pretty good. Because for Natalie, instead of, you know, like a clown, Spectre hired 3 monkeys to guard her. So he did what he was supposed to, or he used his minions for one person and not the other. It's weird. Also, the trick I just did there skipped a much longer loading time. Like, you're supposed to just sit there and wait for the cutscene to load, but we can use the super hoop and just skip right past it. And this is the hardest boss in the game. There we go. That was absolutely terrible. Like, by far the hardest boss in the entire game. And pray to the gods. Alright, no crash. So right there, your game can actually crash. And I have a backup save in case that were to happen. And I'm really glad it didn't. How did I make it out? What, out of the boss fight? Pure skill. Nah, so that boss was actually Jake, and defeating him, you know, freed him from Spectre's control. And for some reason, if you get him in that corner, his invincibility frames just kind of go away, and you can just wail on him. Or, well, you don't wail on him, you wail on his car. And yeah, you beat him in one cycle. It's supposed to, that fight is supposed to be a 5-cycle fight. and we can just do it in one. Also, these UFOs are annoying. Like, very annoying. Like, I'm already about to die. My God, I've never had the UFO be this, like, aggressive before. Also, if you saw the monkey kind of just like flickered, so that can happen. And normally in this level, you go around this entire castle, press a button, move the painting, and, you know, then you finally go fight Spectre. However, with the infinite jump glitch, we actually, the loading zone for entering the Spectre fight extends past the, like, extends way up into the ceiling, behind the area. So, because we have the infinite jump glitch, we just continuously jump until we hit the loading zone, and this is the final boss. Now, I'm using the slingback shooter and zooming in on him to reduce lag. And this boss has 4 different attacks. And the only one you can attack him after is that pink attack that you just saw. And possibly the best cycle count you can get is, I believe, 5. And the worst, I think we've the highest we've seen is like a 36. I got 2 pink shots in 5, so I should be getting a. Okay, so that's a 9 cycle. That's actually not too bad. So we have 3 hits left on this boss. Time will actually be on the final hit. So there's number 1. We wait for a minute. Number 2. And time. And I believe that should be that's actually barely underestimate, I think, or that's right above it. Now I don't know It's all based on when the timer actually started. Also, this voice acting, by the way.
I'll never go back. I'm never going back to that rotten place. You listen, and you listen good. I will return, and when I do.
Okay, so it was a 1 hour and 11 minutes. I'd like to ask the staff. Did you guys start the timer on new game, or did you start it when in the first level when Spike's feet hit the ground?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, interesting thing about timing for this game, and it's okay. I should have informed you guys. So, the time starts on Spike's feet hitting the ground, and there's 21 and a half seconds between you hitting new game and Spike's feet hitting the ground. So my final time, even though my timer is at 1 hour and 11 seconds, my actual time should be 59:50. Or no, 21.5. No, yeah, that's right. Isn't it? Anyway, we'll figure that out later. But yeah, that was Ape Escape. This has been awesome. I'd really like to thank Themeathon for accepting this run. You guys are awesome, raising so much money for charity, and can't wait to be a part of Themeathon the next time we have an event. So the next time they have an event or have an event. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.